Hi, welcome back to my channel. My name is Laura and today I'm going to talk about my 2016 releases that I read in 2016. I was planning on making this video a little bit earlier, but time just sort of has not been on my side lately, so a month late is not too bad, I think, and hopefully we can get to some of the videos that I still have planned for the end of December. Yeah, so quite behind about doing some of these videos. Anyway, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you all of the manga that I read in 2016, that was released in 2016, and show it to you in order of how I rank it, and I'm only going to talk about the titles that I rate the highest. So I work on a 5-star system. I do use Goodreads, so that's sort of why I decided to adopt 5 stars, because that's how they rank manga or rank books. So I do have a number of criteria that I use in order to determine a star ranking, including how's the art, how's the story, what's the publishing like, do I like it, and is it manga? So it's basically 5 sort of things. A number of factors affect whether or not I give it star ratings for those categories, but those are generally the areas that I look at, and I definitely will be making a video about more in depth about how I look at manga and how I rate manga. So generally what that means is that I can like something and rate it very low, but I can also hate something and rank it very high. If it fits into my categories, it doesn't really my liking it isn't really a factor in whether or not I think that it is good or worth talking about or worth reading. Definitely, I would prefer to like titles, but I don't always have to. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you all of the manga that I read that are 2016 releases that I read in 2016, and I'm going to show you them in the order that I rate them. So the lowest rating, of course, starting first. I didn't rate anything 1 star, which would, in my opinion, be a very poor rating, because I don't give anything 0 stars. So 1 star is a poor rating. 2 stars is where my manga rating starts, and those are titles that are kind of just okay. But I do have, of course, those criteria that I use in order to determine where it fits into whatever ranking. So these first ones are my just okay ratings of 2 stars. So the first 2 I actually don't own. They're ones I borrowed from the library. It's My Monster Secret. I don't remember the author. And the next one is School Judgment, and that one is by, I think the author is Enoki, and the artist is Takeshi Obata. So those are both 2-star just okay ratings. The next one is from my sister's collection. This is The Prince and His Dark Days by Hiko Yamanaka. And another title from my sister, My Pathetic Vampire Life by Ishikawa Rose. And 2 from my collection, so Honey So Sweet by Amu Meguro, and Kuma Miko by Masume Yoshimoto. So the next stack of books, these are all going to be my 3-star ratings from last year. 3-star is, I say a pretty good rating. It means that it fulfills a number of my criteria, and they're titles that I generally would recommend to most people, well, depending on your interests. 3 stars is a good rating. The first title is Cells at Work by Akane Shimizu, The Heiress and the Chauffeur by Keiko Ishihara, Kuroko's Basketball by Tadatoshi Fujimaki, Behind the Scenes by Bisco Hattori, That Wolf Boy Is Mine by Yoko Nogiri, and Shuriken and Pleats by Matsuri Hino. So my next stack is actually a little bit bigger than my 3-star stack. This is my 4-star stack. Basically anything in a 4-star stack is really what I can hope for in manga. These are really great titles that I recommend to most readers. Again, based on your interests and your reading tastes, but generally I think that there's something in most of these manga that will appeal to most manga readers. This is my very good rating. 4 stars is sort of equivalent to a very good. So I start with Kitaro, The Birth of Kitaro by Shigeru Mizuki, Wandering Island by Kenji Tsuruta, The God's Lie by Kaori Ozaki, Lissalette and Witch's Forest by Natsuki Takaya, Gigantomaxia by Kentaro Miura, The Tipping Point by a variety of artists. This is a compilation which includes Naoki Urasawa, Katsuya Terada, and Taiyo Matsumoto, among many others. Nekokahara Stray Cat Samurai by Hiroyuki Takei, Cigarette Girl by Masahiko Masamoto, Complex Age by Yui Sakuma, Platinum End by Tsugumi Oma and Takeshi Obata, Everyone's Getting Married by Izumi Miyazono, and Paradise Residence by Kosuke Fujishima. So those were all of my 4-star reads. I actually have a very, very small selection of 5-star reads. I don't rate very many things 5 stars, at least in like the grand scheme of things. I kind of try and keep it a little bit lean. These are my sort of extraordinary titles, or I think that are just like superior to anything else I've read in the year. But I do have a number of titles that I haven't read in the year, and I think you know, they deserve a mention, so I'll show you all of the titles that I haven't read that are 2016 releases that are in my collection that I think probably would rate quite high in most cases. So, you know, once I actually do read these titles, you will be seeing reviews from all of them. So that includes Kitaro Meets Nurari Hyon, Twinkle Stars by Natsuki Takaya, Happiness by Shuzo Oshimi, Scumbag Loser by Mikoto Yamaguchi, The Black Museum Ghost and the Lady by Kazuhiro Fujita, Otherworld Barbara by Moto Hagio, Goodnight Poon Poon, and The Girl on the Shore by Inio Asano, A Distant Neighborhood by Jiro Taniguchi, and Queen Emeraldus by Leiji Matsumoto. So obviously all of these titles are going to be really great reads. Like, I just can't expect them to not be. They're going to be good reads. So you will be seeing them hopefully in the year. Yeah, I'm just so behind in reading. Anyway, without further ado, here are my top 4 reads of 2016 that are 2016 releases. These are all titles that received a 5-star rating, and 5-star, in my opinion, is extraordinary. It is excellent. It is awesome. These are like titles I want to read constantly, over and over. I'm completely addicted, like flawless titles. So yeah, kind of, hopefully there's a little bit of a mix here, but let me know if you agree that I've picked some of the right titles for my top reads for the year. So the first one that I've picked is Haikyuu by Haruichi Furudate. I have not actually read past volume 1, but this is such a good start to a shonen sports manga. Like a really surprising, engaging start. By the 5th page I was completely hooked and completely sold on the story, the premise, the characters, and absolutely fell in love with the story right off the start. It's a great beginning to a series, and I'm really, really happy about it. Basically, this is a volleyball series, and what it does is it actually starts with the protagonist already having assembled his ragtag group of you know, volleyball players. It's sort of the last opportunity that they have to play in school, but it's also their first opportunity, and they completely crash and burn. And now he's going off to high school, where he is going to join the volleyball team, and so he's had this initial experience. So it seems like, it feels like it almost starts midway through a series. You know, if I had read Hikaru no Go, which also does the same part of the story, this would be probably 6 volumes in, and so it just starts right slam in the middle of the action, and it's just such a good part of the story to start at. I think that it was just really expertly handled. And I'm really impressed with this series so far, so I'm really looking forward to reading it. Plus it's releasing so quickly, so I already have tons in my collection that I can read, so I'm going to be picking this up soon and, you know, catching up to what is available currently in English. My next 5-star read is Orange by Ichiko Takano, and this is a slice of life shoujo story about basically kind of past regret and taking your future life and looking back at your past, and how could you make it different, how could you affect change, how could you make the life of someone different. And it's just this like really beautiful, heartwarming story with really good friends in it. And I don't know if it's a realistic portrayal of friends, but I feel like it seems more true than the friends that are usually depicted in shoujo. Shoujo usually there's a lot of backstabbing, there's a lot of griping, there's a lot of distrust among friendships in shoujo manga in general. That's just sort of what happens. And this one just seems to be like, it's so self-sacrificing, and it's just such like pure good relationships, and I'm just really, really impressed with it. Again, not a title that I have gone any further with, but I definitely will be finishing it soon. It is only 2 omnibus series, or only like 5 or 6 volumes in Japan, so it is quite a short series. It's really just like heartwarming, heartbreaking, and really just a beautiful cathartic type read. The art in it is quite quite beautiful. Also, you know, on top of it being kind of a slice of life series, there's also a you know, time traveling or sciencey element that is added into it. A little bit reminds me of Kimagure Orange Road, at least in certain aspects, at least in the OVA movie of it that I watched a million years ago. But there is sort of a time travel-y element that is added into this, which just subtle enough and just you know, just adds a little bit to this already kind of strong character-driven story. So I'm really, really pleased and happy with this, and I was so impressed when I read it. So the next title I am just so happy with, and I'm so thrilled with, and I haven't been so engaged in a series in so long, like a brand new releasing series. This is Princess Jellyfish. This is a josei title about a group of geek girls who live in an apartment, and it turns out that their apartment is going to be kind of redesignated, rezoned, and so it's going to be torn down, and so they have to kind of come up with a solution to save their apartment building. In the meantime, the main protagonist, who is in a jellyfish otaku, she loves jellyfish, she loves how beautiful they are, and she's just sort of mesmerized by them. She runs into a stylish girl who helps her actually save a jellyfish from a pet store, and they join and they just sort of create a friendship. And so this stylish girl who is bored with their current life decides to kind of help out this group of otaku and save their apartment complex, sort of engage them with the outside world. And it is just, it's so fantastic, it's so much fun, the art in it is great, the characters are so like cute and funny, and just the story just has so much life to it. And you know, there's a lot of like innocent relationships in it, and it's just like just lovely and wonderful, and I'm just so happy with it. Like, I just feel like I relate to this series so much, as a lot of I guess girl geeks probably would relate to the series. So yeah, it's lovely, and I highly recommend it. I did actually pick up the anime for it, and I started watching it, and it just I really truly think that the manga is significantly better. So if you are more of a manga person, I would say pick up the manga before watching the anime. I just wasn't super impressed with some of the characterization, and especially the subtitling. The subtitling on that anime is just garbage. So definitely pick up the manga if you have an opportunity. It is wonderful. And then the last manga that I actually rate 5 stars is I Am a Hero by Kengo Hanazawa. Now this is a real surprise for me, and I was so kind of taken aback at how wonderful this manga is. Certainly if you are not into horror, you might want to take a step away, or you might want to reconsider before you pick this up, because there are real, true horrific elements to this manga. It is a zombie horror manga, but it is constructed beautifully. The art in it is beautiful. The characterization is so thoughtful and thought-provoking. I'm just absolutely, I'm so impressed with this manga. I'm so surprised at how well developed this story is. Generally, I find that horror manga tend to really focus on the action or the scare factor, but this one is really truly turning on the storytelling, and it really develops the character before you even really start getting into the horror elements in it. I was just really, really impressed with how you know, just the general structure of this manga, but also, you know, it is going to prove to be a really exciting and fast-paced and dramatic zombie horror at the same time. You know what you can expect, and you know where it's going to go, but it's going to be really interesting. At the same time, like, the character is just such a unique character for being the protagonist of a horror series, or just any series in general. He has significant mental health issues that I don't even know how to label, or how they are labeled in like the profession. You know, he generally is afraid of going outside. He's afraid of the outdoors, and now, you know, he has a real reason to be afraid. He hallucinates. Oh, what happens when you see things in your mind, because you do hallucinate, and then you see something fantastic in reality? How do you tell between your mental health issues and your reality? Like, how do you distinguish between those two things? And when reality is so fantastical, like, what do you do with that? Like, there's so many interesting things to be thought of in this manga, and I'm just like super thrilled with it. I do hear that it is quite a long series, although it is getting a rather slow release as far as I know, which is fine with me because I pick up a lot of manga, so I don't need things to be thrown at me very quickly. But I am definitely impressed with this. If you are a horror reader at all, you should definitely check this one out. Yeah, I was really, really happy with this title. So those are my four favorite manga for the year. I find it actually really interesting that I have one from every demographic. I think Orange is shoujo, so they have shoujo, seinen, shonen, and josei, so I actually think that that's quite nice, because I do like to read from a variety of different things, and I'm glad to see that my tastes are pretty even across the board, so I just was really impressed with these titles. I definitely think that they would appeal to a lot of people, so certainly if they intrigue you at all, you should definitely pick them up because they were fantastic. Anyway, that's it for me. Thank you so much for watching my video. If you have any comments about any of these titles, let me know below, and certainly if any of those titles that I haven't read yet you think that I should be reading soon, please let me know about that. Definitely when I read any of those titles, I will be doing a review video for them, so you can look forward to seeing any of those. So anyway, thank you so much for watching my video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye for now.